So the main narrative now for the justification of taking out Soleimani is that he was an imminent threat to other U.S. embassies, not just Baghdad's embassy, and other U.S. interests and sites and American lives, and that he was planning said attacks. The House has limited Trump's ability to enact war. Trump is saying, well, the reason that I killed Soleimani was that he was an imminent threat. But was he? So I've gone to a couple different sites kind of looking into, is there any proof, is there any evidence that Soleimani was planning said attacks? So I've got a couple articles up here. Trump mocks Democrats' push for notice before further military action on Iran. So I want to first cover them limiting his action. And then his response was basically, Soleimani was an imminent threat. And then he took out Soleimani. But is there evidence? The president said the killing of Iranian Major General Qasem Soleimani was necessary because he had been plotting attacks on multiple embassies. President Donald Trump mocked the legal requirement that Congress give consent before the United States can engage in armed conflicts, alleging Thursday that Democrats would leak sensitive national security information if it were shared with them. In fact, he mocked Schiff directly. At his first campaign rally of 2020 in the crucial battleground state of Ohio, Trump said he hadn't had time to call House Speaker Nancy Pelosi before killing Major General Qasem Soleimani, adding, "She is not operating with a full deck now." One of the reasons I believe that he appeals to the average working American is he talks like the average working American. He is not articulate. He just speaks, basically. And that speaks volumes to people who feel like they haven't been spoken to. He then acted out a parody of how House Intelligence Committee Chairman Adam Schiff might leak the planned killing of Soleimani to reporters. Schiff is a big leaker. You know, he leaks like crazy. He leaks like crazy, okay, Trump said, claiming that Democrats want us to tell them so they can leak it to their friends in the corrupt media. The White House has not cited any instances of the Democrats leaking any sensitive information. Now we're going to jump down here to his quote, which is right down here. I will highlight it for you here. Soleimani was actively planning new attacks, and he was looking very seriously at our embassies, and not just the embassy in Baghdad, Trump said. So, let's jump over here. So Pompeo, when Trump was being advised at Mar-a-Lago, Pompeo was one of the advisors that was advising him. And Pompeo, and they gave him multiple targets, and he stuck with Soleimani. Pompeo says Iranian general was plotting large-scale attack against U.S. facilities, but doesn't provide any specific details. So here's his quote. "We don't know exactly which day it would have been executed, but it was very clear. Qasem Soleimani himself was plotting a broad, large-scale attack against American interests, and those attacks were imminent." Okay, it's very clear, he says. So I'm assuming by that statement that they have some information that is secret that they haven't leaked yet. I hope they have some information. I hope they would let it leak out, essentially, because nobody ever just gives the information. It just kind of leaks out nowadays, right? The attacks were imminent, Pompeo told CBS News White House correspondent Paula Reed. President Trump addressed the drone strike on Iran's top general during a rally with supporters in Toledo, Ohio on Thursday night. Soleimani was actively planning new attacks, and he was looking very seriously at our embassies, and not just the embassies in Baghdad, but we stopped him, and we stopped him quickly, and we stopped him cold, the president said, without offering any evidence to support his claim. Everybody's touting their claims, but nobody has any evidence, but that's just the way we do things nowadays in current year. isn't it? All right, one more from CNN. This is about how skepticism is mounting because the White House has not really quite connected the dots. Skepticism mounts over evidence of imminent threat that Trump says justified Soleimani killings. Now, most of this is pretty much just talking about what we have already gone over. Here we go. Questions have continued to swirl in recent days over the timing, whether the administration fully considered the fallout from such a strike against Soleimani, and if an appropriate legal basis was established for the presidential authorization of legal force, which is why the House had limited his ability. As far as the appropriate legal basis, I do believe, as far as I understand anyways, that yes, he did have legal rights to take that hit. If it's an imminent threat, the president can make that decision. The House has limited that now, so we'll see how that works out. A Republican congressional source familiar with the administration's decision to strike Soleimani acknowledged that in the past the president has been reluctant to take military action. In this case, the killing of an American contractor, the wounding of others, and the subsequent embassy protests had crossed his line. His advisors also pointed out to the president that if he did not respond now, Iran will continue to cross it, which they probably would have. Now, down here to failure to connect the dots. The U.S. has provided few details about those specific threats posed by Soleimani and failed to clearly outline the legal underpinnings. And yeah, nobody has given any hint of what the evidence might be that they know, as Pompeo said, was clear, Pompeo's words, clear evidence, a clear idea that Pompeo himself was orchestrating or getting ready to orchestrate large-scale attacks. I'd be interested to know if they did have evidence. If they don't, well, then we've got a whole nother story. And we've just got retaliatory attack versus another retaliatory attack, and when does that end? Well, I don't know. When people wise up, I guess. The administration has failed to connect the dots. Here we go. The administration has failed to connect the dots in a way that provides a clear picture of an imminent threat, and that an argument has been obscured by inconsistent messaging from U.S. officials. One thing that has become relatively clear is that the operation to take out Soleimani did not hinge on some kind of golden opportunity, unlike the missions that killed Osama bin Laden and ISIS leader Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi. So, that's what I got on this one. Got some urgent stuff going on, evidently. So, alrighty. Let me know what you guys think, and I will see you guys on the next one.